Welcome to 1 Million Cups. It's a weekly educational event for entrepreneurs or people who want to support them. That could be you. If you're here, you're probably in one of those two categories pretty solidly. If not, then there's the door. Just kidding. Did you all get an interesting email yesterday about me? There's one guy said yes, yes. So that's pretty cool news. Startup Peoria is now a permanent division of the Greater Peoria Economic Development Council. Syllables. I am now an employee of the GPEDC, which is great because I think we'll be able to provide resources like if it was this, now it's this, I think, and eventually we want to get it to like this. So we are in Startup Peoria 2.0. And it's pretty great. So change is always difficult to manage. I'm gonna have some new email addresses, and so my life's gonna get flipped upside down a little bit. But you are all here. We have a 1 Million Cups thing going strong. Tori is still here. Colleen is still here. If you have any questions about 1 Million Cups, or if you want to be a presenter, or you know someone who wants to be a presenter at 1 Million Cups, find one of us. Let us know. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, all the things. But it's not about me. This event is about Katie today. I wasn't sure where I was going to go with that. Start with your first name.
Okay.
I met Katie maybe last year. It was before you went back to school. So it was in the summer, about this time last year. And she was telling me about something that was pretty interesting called music therapy, to which I said, what is music therapy? Exactly, you guys are awake. A couple of drinks of coffee and we'll get all the way there. But yeah, what is music therapy? So I'll let Katie answer that, but in the meantime, any other questions for me or comments or anything like that?
Who's our sponsor today?
Who's our sponsor today? Daryl, I'm glad you asked. Our sponsor today is Eco Solutions. Can we pan over to that? Thanks to Eco Solutions for sponsoring 1 Million Cups and making it possible for the next 2 weeks. What is Eco Solutions? A window cleaning company, but why is it called Eco Solutions? I'll tell you why. Because the soaps and detergents they use to clean windows safely absorb into the ground, and they don't kill all the plants they come into contact with. Hence the name Eco Solutions. So thanks to Paul for sponsoring. And what else? I missed one thing. Anybody else? Brian's here. Thanks for coming, Brian. You look great. Brian is a Nest member, and he came to us with a problem yesterday. How's that going?
I got it resolved.
You got it resolved? Was it because of anything I directly did?
Yeah, I mean, it was due to your insight. Yeah.
I was eating a salad while he was talking. That's really what was happening. I'm just kidding. I didn't help at all.
The inspiration.
I'm glad it could inspire you. Excellent. All right. Without further ado, we've stalled long enough, but probably have to edit this one. Sorry about that. But I'm having fun. It's a Wednesday. I like coming here on Wednesday mornings and seeing all of you guys. But today it's Katie's turn to tell us about River City Music Therapy. So welcome, Katie Fitch.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I am honored and beyond excited to be here and to be talking about music therapy again. This is awesome. I mean, music therapy again. I've never done this before. Okay. So I'm on Twitter, Katie Fitch MT, and if you are live tweeting, which I encourage, go ahead and use the hashtag music therapy. A lot of music therapists follow that and they will love it. Okay, so the question, what is music therapy? Out of curiosity, other than the people that I've sat down with before, who has heard of music therapy before? Okay, cool, but not enough, right? So like half, maybe a little bit more than half of you. All of you have now heard about music therapy, and my biggest mission in talking about music therapy and educating people about it is so that the next time someone is talking about music therapy with them, around them, it's not the first time. That's what matters most to me today. And then I can't wait to tell you all about the things that I'm doing with River City Music Therapy. So, music therapy is, in a nutshell, the use of music to address non-musical goals. And that is That is the nugget that you must carry throughout the entire presentation and anytime you are interacting with music therapy. We are not music educators, and we are not just performers. We are therapists, we are clinicians, and we have rigorous training to build those credentials, to build that practice. So I'm going to briefly review the credential process. So the minimum training you must have is a bachelor's in music therapy. Once you have that bachelor's in music therapy, you can go do your internship, music therapy internship. And after you've completed your internship, you take a board certification exam. And once you pass that exam, you are music therapist board certified, hence my credentials, MTBC at the end. Okay, so proud of those. Yes. Okay, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about how music works a little bit later, but what I want to tell you to get us started is that we all have a relationship with music, and your relationship with music is going to be different than your relationship with music. And it could be that you both love and adore a certain song or a type of music, but it means something very different to you. And it's my job as your music therapist to use your relationship with music to help you on non-musical goals that will contribute to your daily functioning, your quality of life. And we're going to talk about the goal areas later. Okay, so who do we serve? Well, music therapy clients come in all shapes and sizes and needs and abilities, all ages. We work all over the map and all over abilities. So one morning I could go to the hospital and provide bedside music therapy, working on pain management or behavioral cooperation. I'll stick with that. And then in the afternoon, I'll go to a school or an autism classroom where we're working on social skills and communication skills, things like that. It ranges. I listed a couple of client populations that we might work in, but I also chose Peoria. I grew up in Peoria. Peoria to me is an amazing opportunity. We have healthcare, like a huge healthcare industry here. Our education systems are a work in process, and I'm down. I'm excited. And I believe that we have so much diversity here in abilities and in professional markets that it's just prime for collaboration and innovation that no other area can actually position themselves for. And I'm just so excited to be a part of that and to see all the wonderful things going on that might really make healthcare and collaboration in the arts and treatment just amazing. So let's talk about River City Music Therapy. River City has existed since about 2013, but I am now back from the master's work, and it's now like my full-time job to make it work. So my long-term goals for the business are a state-of-the-art clinic space, a facility that will allow all access to new technology in music and collaboration among different professionals. So this facility is not necessarily just music therapy, but again, this big collaboration idea. I am extremely passionate about music therapy education and training. Why? Because the music therapy field is changing and morphing as much as it is, in the news. You hear all of these wonderful programs going on, and a lot of it gets outdated very quickly, as much as popular music does. So with training, your internships, I want to provide this huge, diverse experience for music therapy students becoming credentialed, and I believe that Peoria is, again, going to make a wonderful area for that. So that's another goal. And then I cannot wait until I have hired my third music therapist. That is going to be so exciting. We're going to throw a party. Okay, so short-term goals until I get there, though. It's all about getting services, providing services to agencies, and that is both going into the community and entering the hospital, entering the skilled nursing facility, entering this school, providing services there, but then also building programming that people come to that exist in this facility or in my temporary means. So that's where I'm at right now. I have 5 contact hours each week right now, and I am aiming for 20 by October 1st. So yes. I'm going to scoot over here. A presentation about River City Music Therapy would not be complete without a shout out to my fake employees, my peer circle, which includes Rebby Roos, Kelsey Howard, Russ Bolton, and Hannah Fitch. And they have helped me with PowerPoints, they've helped me with getting into different facilities, and they've supported me in a lot of my outreach and advocacy. And so that's my personnel right now, my friends, and it's been wonderful. I have a lot more information, but I want to take this where you guys are curious. What questions can I answer for you?
Are you a nonprofit or do you have nonprofit on?
I am for profit right now. I'm thinking a lot about the means to provide the services that I want to provide, and that's a whole area that I struggle with grants and finding the means. And that's what Peoria is very, very interested in music therapy. A lot of the people that I'm talking to want to do it. They're so excited. They tell me what the value is, and I fill in the gaps, but they don't know where to find the funding. And so I know that a nonprofit would be a great area, but I don't know the first thing about that.
Can you walk us through how this works and give us an
Yeah.
example?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Good. So I'm going to go back to the first slide here. Okay. For instance, this is Ava, and I can tell you that because she's our little music therapy advocate. We were on the front page of the Journal Star, and she suffered a stroke when she was 2 years old. And that is, yep. So, as she began her education her education, they started to notice some processing issues, so information processing. And they couldn't diagnose, they don't have a diagnosis yet, but they could see we're having some issues here, we're having some issues there. And her speech therapy is working for her, her special education plans are, underway. But she is extremely motivated by music. She loves music. She loves to run around and move and play and dance and all that stuff. And so her mother brought her to me and said, let's see if music therapy can help. And we worked so hard. She has a lot of energy, but it has to be focused sometimes. And we used music to engage her in identifying the different colors and remembering a sequence. So blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue. And then she finally got it and she stood up and she's like, I did it. And so that's what she's doing right there. She's accomplished. And so again, I wasn't teaching her how to use the drums. I wasn't teaching her how to count a quarter, eighth note, music lingo. No, I was helping her identify the colors and to go back and forth between them, which was a piece of her treatment plan. And so I just attached the vehicle of music to what she's already working on to produce functional outcomes. And if you happen to go look up this article, her mother gives some wonderful feedback about how music therapy has impacted Ava, and she does credit music therapy to a lot of the advancements she made that summer in her overall functioning, which is amazing and just so great. I love it. Okay, next picture. So this is me providing a music therapy session at an older adult residential facility, and I love this memory because it was just going to be a simple. Let me show you how this is done. I'm excited to sing some age-appropriate music with you and socialize. It's all good stuff. So I'm doing that, and I started with about the 4 people you can see in the front row right here. And as the music therapy session goes on, people are just rolling. They're rolling in. What is this? What is this? So we ended up with a huge group of people, and at the end of that session, the staff came up to me and they said, oh my gosh, did you see so-and-so? They just stared at the ceiling all day, but here they were singing the words to My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean. And I was like, that's what we see on a regular basis in music therapy. Music is processed all over the brain. We used to believe that music was processed in one spot in the brain, pretty close to emotion processing, which is why emotions and music music maybe brought us tears or significant emotions. But now we know that it's processed all over the brain, and so we're going to use that knowledge to reroute our neuro signals, right? We're going to take the back roads if something happens in like Alzheimer's disease or traumatic brain injury. Something has happened to those connections, but use music to go reconnect those skill sets in a different way, and that's what we're doing with those things. So those are those three. Oh no, this is a child working on communication skills, and we were cueing each other to sing back and forth. That's what that is. Yep. Okay. Question.
How easy or how prevalent is music therapy, would you say, like as a practice across the U.S. now? Is it still kind of a fringe thing that a lot of people don't know about, or is it becoming more of a main way to?
Excellent question. Okay, so how prevalent is music therapy overall in the country? Is that essentially? In the Midwest, not so prevalent. Chicago has quite a few music therapists. On the coasts, it is very normal to come across a music therapist on the treatment teams and on staff at various entities at different facilities, whether it's healthcare, education, recreational. That's very, very common. I can't explain why the Midwest is kind of behind on that, but I'm very encouraged because this area is quite interested. It's just a matter of putting the money on that. Yep, sure.
So with that lag, with what you mentioned out on the East Coast and even Chicago, the teams that music therapists are part of, can you give us an idea of what type of team, what other therapists or specialists would be involved and come together to form a clinic like you?
Sure. Oh, well, because...
And then secondly, where does insurance come in?
Yeah.
How, is this something that can be part of an overall plan or strategy
Yes.
for a patient or individual?
So, in summary, what types of teams do music therapists belong on in various settings? And in terms of payment, does insurance play a role here? Answer is music therapists are expert collaborators because we add the musical vehicle onto the goals established, and we establish our own goals if we need to, but we are very good at coming in and being like, that's the goal, here's the music technique to address that. So the teams that we are on are widespread. So it could be education. It could simply be, I'm going to work with the client's parents, and with the client's special education team to go towards these non-musical goals. It could be at a hospital. It could be nurses, doctors, child life. Like any practitioner at the hospital, we can collaborate with them as long as the assessment determines that music therapy is a viable treatment for this client. Insurance. So insurance is so fun. Yes, music therapy is reimbursable. It is, I promise. In Illinois, it's really hard. And I have taken multiple courses in coding and in music therapy reimbursement, and a lot of the struggles are through some of the state-funded stuff and advocating. It's really advocating what I have to preach, that music therapy is not entertainment and it's not education. I mean, it's a version of education, but it's really therapy. And so the insurance companies are not so on board with that right now. I have heard of one music therapist submitting one claim successfully in Illinois. In Georgia, they seem to be doing fine. So.
Can you describe a little bit about the treatments and the outcomes?
Yes. I'm going to go back to my question slide because that's got some of my reminders. Okay. So some of the treatment techniques and outcomes that music therapists might be working in and for. So let's start with a couple of technique ideas to paint you a picture of different versions of music therapy. Okay, I've worked in addiction recovery where the overall goal was to facilitate insight, personal insight, and maybe setting goals for yourself in this one session, so that maybe those are my goals. We might use lyric analysis. So looking at lyrics on a page, listening to the music, identifying what pieces, what words or phrases mean something to you in the music, and kind of deciding why, and deciding who else in the group had that in common with you. So you're creating an environment of overall collaboration and cohesiveness where we're going to, that can lead to a powerful discussion on similar goals that you have with someone else in the group. And, oh, I never heard this insight. I never thought of something that way before. And so that's just our vehicle to get that conversation started and going. We might use a drum circle in that same setting to help them express themselves, to help them relax a little bit in this invasive setting, you know. And the drum circles tend to be a fan favorite. We have a great time. We challenge our clients, you know, musically, and we let them express themselves beyond that, and we create something that can never be created again. You know, we'll never have the same musical product. And so that's two techniques that we might use. You know, in a different, like with Ava, maybe I'll turn on or play music, and she is running around the room to the correct capital letter that I've assigned her to go find, and she's running around to identify numbers and colors and letters, you know. So it's across the board. There's so many more techniques I could outline for you. There was a second half to that question. What was it? Outcomes.
Well, and with respect to Alzheimer's patients, what do you guys see in terms of using music therapy as a therapy?
Yes. Okay, so we've all heard a lot about Alzheimer's patients and the use of music, and it's been wonderful to see what they're coming out with these days, the most recent research. So we know that increased and improved social communication with peers, with family of an Alzheimer's patient will actually increase their likelihood of returning from this disease, of not beating it. I forget. Yes, overcoming. Yes. So with that, we can use that. We can use music to facilitate maybe a meaningful song between husband and wife, and they are connecting and reminiscing together over that. So that's creating that social experience. It's also, if you haven't heard, you know, music is one of the last things to go in terms of memory, and so we will use that. We usually kind of aim for someone's 20s or so, when someone might have been 20 to 30, and that is when significant life events are usually attached to music in a significant way. And so we will take music from that time, and we'll use their interests and feedback from family and staff in order to give them a very specialized and individual experience. But then they'll start participating, they'll engage in the music. And I actually have a story about one time it was during my internship, and I was like, whoa, it works. I was bedside at a hospice when a woman who was very hard of hearing she was non-responsive, but I didn't know the difference between non-responsive and sleeping, and so I went in there to do a session. You have to collect bloopers, okay? In music therapy, you have to collect bloopers, and that's what I do, and this is a blooper. So I was singing "You Are My Sunshine" with her, and I mean, she was laying there when appeared to be sleeping, but I was told, you never know, just do your session, so I did it. And I got nothing back. So, and I'm, you know, "You are my sunshine," you know, and I'm like, I'm into it, you know, and she's sleeping. And I decided, okay, this isn't happening. And so I just ditched my guitar, and I went up to her ear and knew that she was hard of hearing, and I just held her hand, and I tapped to the beat of "You Are My Sunshine," and I was like, last chance, you know. So the song ended, and I was like, all right then. So I'm holding her hand, and then she actually keeps patting the beat. So she's still laying there, and she's patting the beat to "You Are My Sunshine," and I was like, oh, and I, you know, as a little intern, I was just like, what do I do? So I said, so and so, you need to open your eyes. And before this session, the staff had said, you know, we're concerned. She's really going to decline pretty fast, because if she can't wake up and accept nutrients, then, you know, her timeline is pretty short, and her family wasn't there, and it was just really touchy. And so the fact that she was kind of responding to me, I was just so excited. And so we sat her up in her bed while she was still trying to sleep, but she was patting her hand. And we prompted her, open your eyes, you know, sing with us. And we're all, "You are my son," you know, we're all like, yes, come on. And she eventually said, water. And I couldn't understand her at first, but I was like, oh, she needs water, and she's accepting nutrients. So the beginning of the session could have been sleeping. At the end of the session, accepting nutrients and absolutely contributing to her wellness and betterment in the program. And so, no, I couldn't have gone in and said, I'm going to get this woman nutrients. Like, I couldn't have predicted that. But music was the tool. Music is why she was awake that day and accepted the nutrients. So that we have stories like this all over the place, and I'm convinced. But that would be a functional outcome that I could identify, not one that I planned around, but that's kind of how it works sometimes.
Does it have to be interactive, or could you have pressed play on an iPod and gotten the same results? Why is all you? I see the photos and it's you and someone, or you and a group of people. If you eliminated you and put a speaker, what would be the difference?
Does it have to be engaging? Does it have to be me engaging the client, or can it be a push-play therapy? And my answer to you is, of course you have to engage in the music. Of course it has to be a music therapist, because the music therapist can't see when you are emotionally triggered by the music they're providing. A music therapist or an iPod can't look at your heart rate and your respiratory rate in a hospital and determine, oh, we need to slow the tempo down. That's what we're trained for. We have training in psychology and some healthcare orientation, but of course everything kind of varies. So I love it when I see programs of, oh look, this music was so effective, and then you see a picture of someone in headphones looking into the light, and you're like, that's so touching and wonderful. But I would say, if we're advocating for music, advocate for engaging and active engagement in music as opposed to passive listening. Yeah, someone might sing along, and that's kind of cool. That is cool. I admit. I don't always understand how that happens, but the music therapist will take that to the next level and individualize it so that you are getting the most out of your musical experience in that moment. Yeah.
Can you use music therapy in school settings also?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What was the question?
Oh, question was, can you use music therapy in a school setting? Oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. Okay, I need you guys to repeat after. I'm going to do something really quick. Repeat after me. Trust me, this is worth it. This is using music as a mnemonic device, and I'm writing the word Nidarian down. I do this at almost all of my presentations, and I don't know why I didn't include it for you. So you're looking at that little word Nidarian, okay? Do you guys remember from biology what Nidarians are? The Nidaria? Think binomial nomenclature, jellyfish, okay? So when I was taking biology, I had to learn the qualities, the characteristics of the Nidarian phylum, or okay, we'll learn, it's fine. So I wrote a song, and I've advocated for music therapy through this, which I'm going to do with you right now. So repeat after me. I am a C, I am a C, I am a CN, I am a CN, I am a CNIDARIAN, I am a CNIDARIAN, and I have just 2 tissue layers, and I have just 2 tissue layers with my radial symmetry, and my sac body plan, has special stinging cells for me, Good luck. I am a C, I am a CN, I am a CNIDARIAN, and I have just 2 tissue layers with my radial symmetry, and my sac body plan has special stinging cells for me. I am a C, I am a CN, I am a CNIDARIAN, and I have just 2 tissue layers with my radial symmetry, and my sac body plan has special stinging cells for me. I am a C, I am a CN, I am a CNIDARIAN, and I have just 2 tissue layers with my radial symmetry, and my sac body plan has special stinging cells for me. We'll stop there. But picture a whole room of high school students. They're all getting into this Cnidarian song. So this is a mnemonic device. I use music to impose the knowledge about the Cnidarian phylum on you. And thank you so much for cooperating. I appreciate that. Thank you. When I advocate to high school students, I'm advocating as music therapy as a career. And so I'm talking about the types of techniques we might use, music as a mnemonic device. One time I did this, and I used a phone number song to talk about like how I might teach someone their own address or their own phone number, and they remembered it, and it was my phone number. So the next day at college, I was still in college, and I got 80 texts in a row. I was like, oh my gosh, I love the Cnidarian song. I can't forget it. Great, that's awesome. So anyway, hopefully the next time you hear Cnidarian, you're going to know exactly what that is. But yes, absolutely, collaborating with special education and parents and clients and administration. Absolutely, music therapy belongs in education systems. Yes. So, long answer. Can I answer any other questions?
What can we do? Thank you for coming. This has been educational and fun, I think. And what can we do to help you accomplish your next goal, or short-term or long?
Hey, I'm so glad you asked. I have a couple of things that I really need. So I'm obviously beyond passionate and excited about music therapy. I'm passionate about the business, but I'm not knowledgeable about everything that I need to be knowledgeable about. So the first thing that I really need is for you all to speak like you know it, like you know about music therapy the next time you hear about it. It's not music performance, it's not music education, and it's not the music lady with a guitar. It is clinical, it is goal-oriented, it is individualized, and it's hard work, I promise, even though that was fun. Okay, the next thing is, if you are financially savvy, I could definitely use a conversation with you. I am needing to talk about maybe some nonprofit ideas and how to find grants, and definitely understanding cost structure, how best to sell my services. My prices are reasonable, but I don't know how to sell my prices to people right now. I'm weak at that. And then I am always looking for opportunities to talk about music therapy and to advocate and to maybe demonstrate. And so if you guys have any venues for me to do that, I would love to be there. I have a tent at the Riverfront Market where I advocate by hosting a little kids craft. We always make musical instruments, every Saturday. So that's like one way I do that, but I would love more opportunities like that. And then I need to role play with somebody. I need to role play with many people on selling my services and articulating all the value that I provide. So those are the things that I need. That'd be awesome. Okay.
That's a lot. So how can we get this message to everyone in a more at a later date when we can sit at our computer and read through this? Do you want to come up with something? Screenshot it, send it to us, and we'll put it on Facebook or Twitter or something?
Sure. So the priority, all of you can say, oh, I heard about music therapy before. That's the most important to me. That will do most of the work for me. But then if anybody else can help me out here, that'd be great. I'll screenshot this for you.
Okay, something like that.
Cool.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Drink the coffee.